Chuck, good morning.
Good morning, Bill.
All right, so I'm assuming you would...
Well, I'll just correct you on one thing real quick. You said there was something wrong with our signatures. That's absolutely not true.
Well, I understand.
Our pages weren't numbered, and we omitted a couple of dates.
And what I meant was...
Unlike some of the people in this village, I will say it's my mistake. I screwed up. We did not fill out all the paperwork correctly, and our petitions were denied.
Just for the record, when I said your signatures, what I meant was the petition. But so, are you going to plow forward as well as Lamica, the mayor?
Yeah, Brian and I have discussed that, and we're gonna digest everything that's gone on in the past couple of days. And I just want to say one thing, Bill. If you look at the statute relating to petitions, maybe I'm statute.
You're right.
We were supposed to be notified that our petitions were challenged. Number one, I never was by this spectacular GOP person, county board of elections. And then the second thing is I was supposed to be allowed to be present while they were looking at our petitions. I was not. So there's two things right there. Oh, we only follow the law. Oh, when the law pertains to getting Brian and Chuck off the ballot as GOP candidates, but not when it comes to having Brian or Chuck being aware of anything that's going on until after the fact.
I believe you.
I just think that's pathetic. And you know darn well, Bill, in all of the laws that are written and underscored and everything else, there's always that thing called discretion. And the idea that 150-plus people signed our petitions with us knocking on doors in lousy weather and everything else, they signed our petitions for Chuck and Brian. They didn't sign the petitions because there was a date of a primary or a date of an election or the pages being numbered or there wasn't a staple.
Yeah.
That's just, and in my opinion, I think the Democrat person on the Board of Elections is a great person. I think the GOP person is nothing but a political hack. And she's obviously Facebook friends with Mr. Conover and Mr. Stevens. And I think that's a direct conflict of interest. She shouldn't even have been able to rule on
Facebook friends?
But as far as the county and the town, the
friends?
GOP and everybody goes,
it's a small town. You're going to have Facebook
Brian and I are going to explore our chance to run as independents, and then we'll decide what we're going to do.
All right, Chuck, I want to ask you, the other option would be, I believe you could make a legal challenge.
Billy, I got to start. That's another thing. These people can attack us left and right for free. For me to hire a lawyer and go to county court, it's going to cost me about $5,000.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So why would it? So I got to spend money to defend myself, and that's not. This is the United States of America, and my petitions were being challenged, and I don't even get to go and defend myself. This is how pathetic this whole thing really is. And you know what? I didn't even look at their petitions. I didn't care about their petitions. I had no interest in looking at their petitions. They got out, knocked on doors, got people to sign them. God bless.
Yeah.
Let's have a fair, open election and let the people base their vote on results, not on what a small minority. And I'll put this out there one more time. Jim Conover, Daddy, Mike Conover's son, why don't you release or authorize the release of the investigation into St. Mike? And then you'll find out just who this guy really is. And I'm not obligated, if I'm no longer a village trustee or a village official, to be quiet on what I know about the investigation. And, maybe it sounds like sour grapes or anything else, but people should know what they're voting for. And the same thing with Mr. Stevens, who can't remember what he had for breakfast, but he's going to try to take on an almost $12 million budget with multiple projects going.
Right.
And people will get what they vote for. So I'll just leave it at that.
For the record, I'm letting you go. I'm not challenging you on anything. We will give them the opportunity to come on and defend themselves with those comments. Chuck?
Well, I threw it out there before, Bill, and they still. And where's Mike Conover stepping up and saying, "Yeah, I was investigated. Here's what happened during the investigation. This is why I retired." But he won't, because he's a coward. And the same thing. That's why there was never any formal charges filed, because once formal charges are filed, then it's public record. And he didn't want any of the dirt that was in there to come out.
All right.
And you've got a small minority in the village that are siding with these people because they don't really know the facts.
If it's a small minority,
if
it's a small minority, then you must feel that in a write-in campaign you have a shot.
Yeah, Bill, I got thrown off the ballot a few years ago when I was running with Tommy Beecher, and actually Jim Garnsey, a village Democrat, helped us run. And Tom Beecher's address was listed as 5th Ave instead of 3rd Ave.
Okay.
So they invalidated the petitions on that. And if you really get down to it, we could have spent the money, gone to court, because we don't have districts in Ilion. People there, again, they signed for Tom Beecher, not because of his address. But, so I've been through this before. I'm not scared. I'm a big boy. Like Brian said, we got a life. And I think we've done really good things for the village. We tackled everything that came across our plate. We've secured grant money. We got things going in the right direction. And, even Mr. Stevens, when he was cognizant enough, said that we did a good job. So,
all right.
It's let the chips fall where they may. And as I said, Brian and I are going to explore all our possibilities of an independent campaign. And you can't get a straight answer from the election board. If the petitions are invalid, then theoretically the signatures that are on there are invalid. So we can just go around to the people that signed our petitions as GOP and see if they'd be willing to sign for us as independent.
All right.
And that's an option. But
okay.
You know what? You know what they said at the Board of Elections? Well, we don't know how that would work.
You need to be a registered independent.
All right, fair enough, Chuck. Thank you. We'll reach out again. Thank you for the time.
Okay, Billy. Thank you.
All
See
right.
you later.
Chuck Lester and Mayor Lamica. I'm out of time. Hold on, Howard. I'm going to get to you. WIBX Utica Rome. It's 7 o'clock.